bit a button too low. Don't want to get in trouble for provocative material again here on YouTube. You know how much trouble I get into. No matter what I do, I always get in a lot of trouble. Maybe if you're not causing some trouble, I don't know. Maybe you're not doing anything important enough. That's probably not true, but that's my story and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna also wipe off the camera a little here in case there's any smudges on it that are causing a lack of clarity. I'm gonna turn on my light. Might even pop on a little fireplace for y'all. I don't know if it's really for you. Been taking care of some business on my Macintosh here, or my MacBook Air, I guess. I wonder what type of computers most of my viewers have. If you got MacBooks, or if you got some Dell, or I don't even know what the computer brands are these days, but for years I'd owned various Microsoft-based computers, or IBM, the IBM clone computers they were known as probably 30 years ago. It's funny, I talk about being a stockbroker now and again, and I was from like 1990 to 2000. And probably my most common pitch was for IBM clone computers made by like AST Research or Dell Computer, and we'd pitch them in advance of an earnings report. And the story was always the same. We said with the, unless we were of course pitching a semiconductor company, because then we'd say they're gonna come out with blockbuster earnings with the explosion that we've seen in computer sales over the last few years, the demand for the computer chips, which are the brains of the computer, Mr. Jones. We expect a huge earnings announcement on Thursday. We expect the stock to trade up from its current price of 12 to 18 to $25 to $30, and it could happen in the next 60 to 90 days. And that was basically our pitch. And it's amazing you get people to buy or invest in a company that they've never heard of. This was before Dell was a household name, or AMD, or what other companies? We pitched Seagate Technology, I don't know, some other names like that are almost household names now, or at least were at some point. Dell certainly still is, and AMD obviously is, and boy, one of the biggest, I had a huge position. My brother and I shared an office at one point in like 1992, and we worked at a little boutique brokerage called Gruntle. And we built up a huge position in AMD, which is now a massive computer chip company. But at the time, they were, I think, in a lawsuit against Intel, saying that Intel had either stolen their technology or had a monopoly on the 086 computer chip they were using at the time. And the stock was, I think, trading at like 15. And they lost their lawsuit against Intel, and the stock dropped to, I don't know if it was $6 or $7 or $8 a share that day. And it was devastating. We had a huge position in it, and all of our clients lost a ton of money. Hindsight being what it is, and 30 plus years later, can't tell you how much money we would have made holding on to AMD. Baden wants to know what year it was. It was probably 93, 92 maybe, could have been 91. Again, we had a huge position. Somebody can Google it for me if you would, in AMD, and they lost a big lawsuit or some sort of legal thing with Intel, and either Intel again was violating its patent or and they weren't allowed to sell their chips, and Intel had a stranglehold at the time on the computer chip market. They'd come out with the 286, the 386, the 486, and every year the computer would get faster and more powerful. But I don't remember the exact year, but it was 92, 93, I think. And we had a huge position, and the stock dropped from like 15 to 6 or 7 or 8 in one day. I remember I had a girlfriend at the time, so it must have been 91, 92 maybe, that I went to college with. She was still in school, and she'd gotten injured, like she had her bicycle crashed or something like that, and she had big scrapes on her foot, and she was calling me and kind of needed a shoulder to cry on. And I'm sitting there with my head down going, oh my gosh, my whole business just blew up, and all my clients lost all their money, and I just wasn't there for her like I wish I would have been. Just a Bloke says the conflict culminated in an antitrust case filed by AMD against Intel in 1991, which resulted in a favorable ruling for AMD in 92, though the overall legal battles were not fully settled in 95. Well, they lost something. They lost something. They lost something because the stock went down from 15. Maybe they got a preliminary ruling against them or something like that. Because again, the stock went down from like 15 to 6 or 7 or 8. And it was devastating. And yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about that now. Maybe talking about the what type of computer we all have. And now I'm sitting here talking on an iPhone and have a MacBook Air on on the floor now, but it was on my desk a minute ago. And you think of all the power that we have at our fingertips on the phone these days, you know, how much more powerful this phone is than all the computers probably combined in our office back then. And it's just kind of interesting and crazy. And every year, Intel would come out with a new 086, and then they eventually, I think, changed the name from the 86 line to the Pentium computer chip, if anyone's old enough to remember that. And again, I don't have any idea what computer chips we're working on these days, but they're a different world, and they're AI-based and causing the market to continue to rock and roll, although it looks like it's given a little back the last 2 days. So anyway, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Thursday Thoughts with Ken. Who knew? Who knew? 2 days ago, I was sitting in the bathtub. I do a morning show called Coffee with Ken every day. And I usually talk for about an hour. I drink coffee in the morning, and I kind of get my day started talking to the phone and engaging with an audience. And 2 days ago, I've been doing that in one form or other for about 6 years. I have a lot of fun with it. It grows a little bit every day, and again, I enjoy it. The editing process is much more strenuous, honestly, than the actually going live time. People are asking me how long I was live today. I was live for about an hour this morning. I don't remember how long it was, maybe an hour and a half. And again, 2 days ago, I was sitting in my bathtub. I was scheduled to go to work. I was getting ready. Oh yes, I take baths. Oh yes, I use bubble bath. Oh yes, just because of that. And I like candles. Doesn't mean I'm gay. But anyway, I got a message from my boss that they didn't need me. So I go, crap. The business was slow. They didn't need me. Had the day off yesterday, so went live. I was actually covering for somebody at work today, and they got a message saying the boss didn't need them. So here I am, 3 days in a row, talking to you guys on Afternoon Thoughts with Ken. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a glass of water, or I guess it's a cup of water. It is a plastic cup. And at some point, I just brewed up some pumpkin spice coffee. Wow, that's weird. YouTube's been offering me, like, it's saying to add a question and answer sticker and said give it a try. I've never actually done it. I've been ignoring that notice that YouTube sends me. But clearly they're looking for me to grow engagement on my show and probably in my videos so they can get more people watching and sell more ads. Yeah, but I haven't tried that yet. I don't know what I'm working on a strategy. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just working on a strategy. I'm working on a strategy. And I had some guy asking me annoying questions right now. And I wanted to block him from my channel, but I thought it would be more punitive just to put him in timeout for a while. And that's what I did. Hello, Bren, how are you? Do I know you, Bren? You seem friendly. I got a boss at one job named Bren. But I don't think that's you. But I am keeping well, thank you. Hello, Ben Anderson. Yvonne, I did time the dope out. Jaden, I appreciate you liking and subscribing. What's my channel all about? It's just about a guy talking about life and experiences and good times, bad times, and everything in between. I usually do it, I do it every morning. I'm gonna pop on the fireplace right now. I do it every morning, and it's called Coffee with Ken, and I got a pretty nice audience there. It's growing a little bit every day. I'm fast approaching 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which feels kind of cool. You know, I act like I don't watch it, or I try not to watch it, the numbers, but I do. I do. But what's so ridiculous, and I talk a lot about setting goals, is you set these goals and then you achieve them and you go, huh. You know, like I'm looking at 10,000 subscribers, like my life's gonna change when my channel gets to that, and it's at like 9,500 right now. And honestly, I know nothing's gonna change. When I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll still wake up, I'll still pour my coffee, still go live in the morning. If they ever need me again, I may not go back live in the afternoon, but hopefully they need me again. I'll tell you what, and I don't want to overly talk about work, but it certainly has me thinking about new work opportunities. And a moment ago, I saw a job this week on Indeed, and had applied for it, and didn't hear back, but I saw another opening with the same company, and I just got on and sent out my resume and cover letter to them, and trying to be proactive and positive and keep moving forward and do what I can and smile more than I cry and drink some coffee, have some fires, and engage with you fine folk. Let's see. I'd love to say we have a glorious audience, but honestly, every question I'm getting Yvonne, is it Yvonne or Yvonne? Yvonne just said I have a lot of strange people in the chat, which I'm used to, kind of, and usually comfortable with. But I like to engage with the audience, and if everyone's just saying, hey, you look like Hank Schrader, or can you say this word, or whatever, it seems so strange. Like, how many people really think of Hank Schrader at all? I still almost don't believe it could be true. Again, I'm fascinated by that. Here on YouTube, there's a fetish with bald men. And every time I go live, and I've been going live on YouTube since January, since TikTok got banned, at least temporarily, here in the United States. So I went live the next day on YouTube, and I haven't looked back. One weird thing I've noticed is the viewers on YouTube have a strange fascination with baldness. You know? To the point, I mean, I don't understand. And again, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't care if I was called Hank Schrader or Johnny Sins or the guy from New Zealand or Arnie Slot or whoever else, Bruce Willis. It doesn't hurt me at all. I love being bald. But it just fascinates me that it happens. It fascinates me that it happens. I'm not offended at all. Because they don't know what else to talk about. It's a low friction entry point. I don't think that can be it. I can go live on other social media channels. I can walk down the street. I don't have every other person saying that to me, and I engage in conversations all the time. That's just the weirdest thing. I think what is actually happening is that YouTube has data on all of us, and they put the people that watch Breaking Bad, Die Hard, are fans of the Liverpool soccer team, porn, because they see Johnny Sins, or Breaking Bad. And they put them in a bald fetish group. And when a bald content creator goes on, I'm serious about this. I don't think there's any way they can unleash the group on me trying to enhance engagement. Because again, none of it's insulting. They're all fine-looking men and okay and whatever, I don't care. But the fascination with the baldness is so weird. If that makes any sense. Same with politics, says Suzanne. Yeah, but I don't, at the bald thing, I mean, I understand. I heard two dudes talking politics at a coffee shop yesterday. One of them brought up the Liberty Bell. And while I'm sitting there Googling when was the Liberty Bell made? And it was made, for anyone wondering, in 1751 in Britain. And it was cracked when it was delivered to Philadelphia. And because of the crack, they melted it down and made it again, recast it, or whatever the term is. What I don't understand is, as it's sitting right now, it still has a crack. So did they cast it again with the crack? They must have. If I've got the backing of a rich cougar or local investment firm, could I thrive in today's market? What market are you talking about? What market are you talking about? Susan, said the country is falling apart. Susan, what do you mean the country's falling apart? What's happening in the country that you think it's falling apart? Let's see. Well, I did just shave my head, if anyone's wondering. I took another bath. And oh yeah, I used bubble bath. Usually I'd have a candle out right now, but I'm not going to right now. I'm just going to sit here and relax. But I do have this nice hot cup of coffee, and I'm going to take a sip from it. And my hope is, I mean, I don't even care. Usually every morning I say, my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee as well. Cheers to us. That's how I do my show every day. But right now, I honestly don't care at all if you guys have a nice hot cup of coffee. I'm just happy I did. So here's mud in your eye. Young people haven't heard that expression. Here's mud in your eye. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's nice. That is nice. Did I use Mr. Sheen on my head? No. No, I didn't. I don't even, is there a Mr. Sheen? You're drinking coffee and smoking weed. That doesn't surprise me. No SNAP for people in need, says Susan, I'm sorry. No one can make a decision about health care, which is a human right. ICE is out of control. And those are the words from Susan. Have they stopped SNAP benefits yet? I heard a guy who I think is the Attorney General in North Carolina talking about SNAP yesterday. And he said some stat, and it was like 16 million or something, and 60% of them are kids. But either way, it kind of bummed me out what a high percentage, and I forget what the number was, what percentage of kids in America have SNAP benefits. Let's see. Somebody is a professional hater online. Why do you do that out of curiosity? Why do you do that? It can't make you feel good. I mean, honestly, and you said you were going to go on. I should let you keep flying by. But it can't mean you feel good. It's kind of like picking on a kid in grade school. Like bullying somebody or teasing somebody. And I just don't really understand why. You should stop trying to understand. Seek not to understand. Because it doesn't do any good. Oh, let's see. When's the last time? Do you guys listen to that band Rush at all? I was working out. It's very strange. I mean, it's not that strange. Again, YouTube knows all. But I listened to the album Hemispheres, which I think might have been the group Rush, Canadian band, fourth album. And it came out maybe in like 1977. And I listened to it yesterday while working out, and I liked it. But today on YouTube, in a short, there was a guy talking about that album and prog rock. And honestly, I'd never heard of prog rock. So I did a little research. Prog rock is known for a bunch of different things, musical things that I don't fully understand. But one thing I did understand was like theme albums. And Rush was big with that. They did 2112 and Hemispheres, and Caress of Steel had a really long song on it as well. The whole backside of that album was one song, if you will. And other bands that did it were Genesis kept coming up, Jethro Tull, King Crimson, Pink Floyd, and a couple other bands they mentioned were famous for prog rock. Yeah. Somebody said they're not a fan of Rush. All right. Should they allow food stamps to be used on unhealthy foods like cookies or retracted meat, vegetables, and fruit? Again, I tend to like less government intervention. And if somebody is getting food stamps and wants a bag of Doritos, for instance, I'd rather the government not say they can't get Doritos. We could talk a lot about food stamps and their benefits or making people lifelong dependent on the government, and I'd love to probe deeper into those thoughts. But again, I think if you're going to allow people to use given money to buy food, I mean, broke people want to buy Doritos. Funny thing is, I don't even like Doritos, but Doritos come to mind. So we have a great, many poor people have no access to stores and healthy food. Like in the inner city, are you talking, Susan? They shop at corner stores. Yeah, no, I could believe that. I mean, even where I live, I have a car, but if I didn't have a car, and I live in a city, I live in Appleton, Wisconsin, I could walk to a Walgreens and buy food there, but certainly I'd pay more, and I'm sure the quality health-wise of the food there is far less than when you go to a grocery store that has fresh vegetables and fruits and things like that. Yvonne says, my patients are poor. Are you a therapist or are you a doctor? Wow. You're a retired home care nurse. People need SNAP. Yeah, no, I don't want people going hungry. And again, I'm slightly right of center, but I think I have an open mind and can discuss things on both sides of the political aisle. I don't want people going hungry in America. I think we're too awesome of a country and we have too great of a system for people to be starving or homeless out there. And it's weird though. I posted a video kind of brainstorming on my solution for homelessness in America. And I got a lot of people kind of angrily lashing out saying I'm reading the tea leaves wrong. And I promise you they were coming from the left side of the aisle. And the political anger that exists is just stupid. You can't, I was trying to solve the homeless issue and people were saying all these negative things about my thoughts and my ideas. We need more solution finders and less problem finders in this world. It's so easy to find problems with everything anybody says. But I tell you what, the world would be a heck of a lot better place if we had more solution finders. Joe, I appreciate the $2, but I can't read your comment that it came with it. It's just people saw it and can comment as they will. But yeah, I didn't want to read it. What? Let's see. Actually, to find the solution, you need to first find where the problem is. See, even that's so dumb. you know, you're objecting to somebody even wanting to find a solution. You know? You're trying to argue about that. And I'm going, wow. What I'm saying is you can't say almost anything these days. I didn't call you dumb. I called you an idiot. Just to be honest. Invisible Man, your new channel. Wow, it's going so fast. We have such a wonderful group here today. We really do. Right off the bat. Right off the bat, it's awesome. Oh. Jim Rat, I saw you out there. Yvonne, if you're leaving, I mean, you don't have to announce it. If anyone wants to leave, you don't have to announce it, you know, Yvonne. I think so often we'll do that and we'll get a little, their feathers ruffled a little bit, and they'll announce to everybody that they're leaving and they're not going to take it. And then what they usually do is they sit there and watch anyway. For instance, I'll bet Yvonne is still watching right now. Let's see. Jim Rat's talking about, Susan, I live in California. The homeless here are catered. They get free food, they get health care, they get clothes, they get child care if they need it, they get free transportation. So Jim Rat, I appreciate you saying that because I don't live in California, but I hear a lot about it. Are you saying the amount of government subsidies or is actually incentivizing people to live on the street rather than get a job? They're so well taken care of, they're better off living on the street than getting a job. Is that what you're saying? I'd be curious. I'm against everything that I said California does for the homeless. Okay. Corey is here in California. Corey, what do you think of California? Who really want help? Okay. Well, I think generally when the government runs most things, they don't do it very well. My solution to the homeless issue on the video I posted today was using our brightest minds, our capitalists, if you will, to figure out a way to safely and cleanly house feed, clean homeless people. And again, it might not be as easy as I make it sound, but I think if you sat in a room and said, hey guys, we have 10 million people living on the streets in the United States, what's up with that? Could we do something about that? And I bet you we could figure out some solutions. But you gotta wanna find solutions rather than just argue. I think brainstorming is an awesome thing to do and throwing out ideas. But in this harsh political climate with which we live, you throw out an idea, somebody calls you a commie, a fascist, a racist, a misogynist. You know, you try and come up with solutions to anything, and somebody's gonna hate you for it. And it's kind of weird. Why can we vote and agree on that? Why do we ever say we need them to They work for us. They should be doing exactly what we say. But division kills the chances to run the government. Well, they can't do exactly what we say because we are 300 million people with all different thoughts and ideas. And we're not going to agree on what should be done, and we don't. Oh. Hello, Anwar from the United Kingdom. How are you? How are you? Do I believe in free will? I mean, what do you mean by that? I think I chose to just pick up that lid. Be more specific, please. California and New York are the mecca for homeless. You're a homeless person and you want to live good in California or New York. It was weird. Jim Rad, I edit these videos. And I was editing a video from about 2 months ago. And I was saying how I didn't see a homeless issue in Appleton, Wisconsin. And people were saying it's all over, go outside. And having thought about it, I guess I do. There are homeless people in Appleton, Wisconsin that, a lot of them. Like people hanging out that I'm not sure what they're up to. And maybe I didn't notice it so much because I moved from Naperville, Illinois in February. And maybe there weren't very many homeless people in Naperville compared to here or in Chicago or apparently California or New York. Huh. Again, we got a very feisty audience. And we have 28 thumbs up and we got 43 people watching. We got a lot of people invigorated today. I think giving someone a job, a place to sleep and get clean, drug test them, give them pride would work for those that want to be self-sufficient. Okay, well, do you think the people that want to be self-sufficient is in the majority or the minority? If you saw what Oakland looks like, parts of Southern California, Sacramento, you would be completely, absolutely blown away to the homeless situation. That's interesting. That's interesting. It doesn't have me wanting to run out to California anytime soon. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I could see that, the temperature's moderate. I spent 10 years of my life living in downtown Chicago and we had some homeless people, but it was frigid in the winter. Corey Morrison says he thinks people at the root want to be doing good. Well, I hope so. They build little shanty towns out of cardboard and scrap wood in Oakland. They look like small apartment complexes. Well, a little bit. If you're gonna be homeless, you might as well build some structure around you. So I'm gonna give them kudos for being creative and building a shelter. You know what I mean? Right? If I was homeless and, I don't know, living in some park or some alley in Oakland, I'd probably try and build something to create a structure around me. Wouldn't you, Jim Rat? I mean, right? I mean, you're the one that said they build little cardboard structures. Stink Nasty would build a boat. Well, I don't know why you'd build a boat, but whatever. We have an amazing feisty audience today. I bet you a feisty audience is good for ratings. Stank Nasty says my chat is crazy today. It sure is. Okay, Jim Rat says, I understand what you're saying. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no pushback from lawmakers or the police. Anybody of these people live like they do, especially in San Fran. And again, I'm not sure what to do. Again, I said, hey, let's brainstorm. Let's get some of the smartest capitalists out there and figure out how to solve that problem if it's really a problem. Yeah. Yeah, boats aren't as cool as everyone thinks, I think. I think they say, it's better to have a friend that has a boat than you have a boat. My experience with boats is they break down too often. I don't think their engines get run, so they clog up, if you will. No, I am not Bruce Willis. Spend taxpayer money on them only if they agree to drug and alcohol testing, learn a trade, criminals thrive in chaos. Release the files. You see those creating chaos. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But I'll tell you what we do have. We have a glorious audience today. An absolutely glorious audience. Let's see. The homeless topic out here in California, it's just like the little pool topic. I don't know what you mean by the little pool topic. Hello, Molly Miller. How are you? Oh, our criminal politicians thrive in chaos. Huh. I grew up in Illinois, and I don't know, 20 years ago, we had a governor named Rod Blagojevich. And I think Illinois is kind of famous for its political corruption, if you will. And they ended up sending Rod Blagojevich to jail, or to prison, actually, for a bunch of years. And it happened to like 2 governors in a row. George Ryan, before Blagojevich, also got prosecuted. And I always thought what was happening, what they were doing, was how politics work. That there were payoffs and kickbacks and bribes and buying votes. And I've always kind of thought it was just part of it. They cleaned up San Francisco in a week when the Chinese president came to visit. Blagojevich did have a lot of hair on his head. Jeremy Stark is asking if I'm a Democrat or Republican. I just don't like being classified. I'm definitely not a Democrat, and I'm probably not even a Republican. Again, somebody asked if I was a Christian yesterday, and I'm reading the Bible over here, and I go to a Christian church. I just don't want to be put in a box, really. Let's see. Somehow Gavin Newsom cleaned up San Francisco, an area the Chinese president was going to be at. San Francisco has a large Chinatown, don't they? Did the Chinese president Did he visit Chinatown? I was in San Francisco once for my first honeymoon. I'll tell you what, time goes fast for people out there. That was 22 years ago. Time goes fast. So if anyone's young out there and they're thinking they're cool because they're 35 years old or younger, time goes fast and you'll be 57 before you know it. Let's see. But anyway, so you got married illegally. I don't even know what that means. How do you get married illegally? And how did I get married illegally? Because I can think of a couple ways that it might be illegal to get married. But I don't know how I was illegally married. Had I known, I wouldn't have had to go through the divorce process. I could have just said, hey, this was not legal at all. By choosing the wrong partner. Well, that wouldn't make it illegal to get married just because you choose the wrong partner. My mother is Indonesian. Whoop, that's all we're going to know about that individual. Somebody was bearing his soul, and he said his mother was Indonesian, and he had a lot more writing to do, and all of a sudden he was gone. So why all the hate for immigrants now? Pretty sad to see how divided the country is now. Jeremy Stark, I think the country was divided 5 years ago. For sure. For sure. I think 40% of the country 5 years ago during COVID would have loved to have locked up those of us who never got vaccinated. So I think we were very divided. And I think right now, Republicans just have control of the White House and Congress. And, 5 years ago, you probably thought we were all in harmony. What do you enjoy the most, deep down from your heart, that you would do every single day without money? I mean, almost everything you see me doing. I'm not doing this for money. Talking to you, engaging, provoking minds, provoking my own mind. Making the world a better place, hoping by our communication, even slightly hostile as it can be on my channel, that we're maybe opening up some thoughts. I know a lot of times, if I say I voted for Donald Trump, I think it gets people infuriated with me because generally they see me as a fairly level-headed, nice, good human being. And their image or in their mind of a Trump supporter is some caveman redneck or something like that has a Confederate flag flying from his pickup truck. So I think I break that image a little bit and just put myself out there as kind of a moderate, hopefully impacts people. Jeremy Stark doesn't hate anyone, but Trump is a disgusting human and hateful himself. I'll tell you what, Trump really moves the meter, I'll tell you that. He has people talking. You flip on any news channel, and his name is all over. I mean, what are the odds that his son, and I'm not even sure what his kids, I think he has a couple sons. Are they gonna run for president and are they gonna win? Trump is a showman. He wants to test nukes again. Does he really? Or is he just kind of talking about that? I mean, I don't want to talk about Donald Trump without bringing up the Gulf of America, that he changed it to the Gulf of America. I just think that's the funniest thing ever. I don't know. I thought like Magellan or Pizarro or Ponce de Leon probably named it the Gulf of Mexico, like it's been the Gulf of Mexico for 1,000 years. Trump comes in one day and changes it to the Gulf of America. How are the liberal Democrats going to survive with Trump in office for the next 3.5 years? I guess he has only been in office like 6-8 months. Your favorite thing he did was to bring back Columbus Day. Did he bring back Columbus Day, or was that... I mean, he just does things. I heard these guys, and they were probably left of center politically. The guys that brought up the Liberty Bell, I think they were gay in the coffee shop, but I was kind of eavesdropping, and they clearly didn't love Trump a whole heck of a lot. I don't know what my point was, but I wanted to chime in because they were talking about Trump, and I wanted to chime in about my thoughts about the Gulf of America. I just think that's so funny. Oh, they were saying he wasn't, they didn't use the word very presidential. They said maybe he didn't handle himself with decorum. He doesn't at all. He called whatever, that super liberal Senator Pocahontas in the State of the Union. You know, I didn't think it was appropriate, but the fact that he'd have the stupidity, balls, guts to do it blew me away. Okay, Biden officially changed it to Indigenous Peoples Day in 2022 or 23. All right. Was it officially changed to Indigenous Peoples Day? Yeah, that just seems so stupid. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they could have brought up another day for Indigenous People Day. I never liked Biden when he was young. I did. I never liked him when he was young. I voted for Obama twice. I still never liked Biden. He was one of those guys that was a career politician and must have been sleazy as hell. Because he was a senator, a congressman in the early 70s. And he'd been around and kissed too much ass, owed too many favors. And honestly, he was just a established white old politician and a grotesque figurehead and an embarrassment on our electoral system here in the United States. That's what I think about him. I get angry just thinking about how he was going to run for president until it became so obvious, so embarrassingly obvious, that he could barely speak. You know, I felt bad for him. You know, you can't feel bad for the president. I mean, you can a little, but he shouldn't have been out there. And honestly, I think the Democratic Party should be ashamed that they wheeled him out there and gave him note cards to try and follow and made a fool of him in the electoral system. Yeah, no, it bothered me. I was sitting there before the debate going, hey, you know, this guy's not clear at all lucid. At all. And for them to act like he's ready to run the country was ridiculous. Somebody said he was sharp as marble. You hated what Dick Cheney did to Bush. Actually made me feel a little sorry for him. I'll tell you what, George Bush the second was interesting because I didn't find him very presidential either. I kind of considered him a wealthy kid, obviously rich family, politically connected family, but a guy that would be kind of well liked in school, but certainly not president of his class or super cool in class or super smart or really super talented in any way. So I don't really know how George Bush, other than his name, and I probably voted for him. I'm sure I did. I know I didn't vote for, what's his face, the guy that invented the internet. Who invented the internet? I forget. Let's see, Al Gore, thank you. Yeah, Al Gore. I know I didn't vote for Al Gore. But at least Al Gore seemed like, Al Gore kind of had the sleazy, I don't trust this guy at all vibe that I'm accustomed to in my politicians. I mean, George Bush II just seemed kind of a little bit dopey, but okay. I would be remiss, and I'm getting the chills just thinking about it, because I'm kind of teasing George Bush a little bit and saying he wasn't that talented and he wasn't this and he wasn't that. I will tell you what, he did one of the most clutch things in history that I don't think he even gets enough credit for. And anybody that's ever competed in athletics or has thrown out the first pitch in any game ever should know what I'm talking about. After 9/11, the first game back at Yankee Stadium in New York, like 2 weeks after 9/11 happened, he threw out the first pitch and threw a strike. Oh my gosh, the pressure that he's must have been under is so amazing. And a lot of you won't get it, but if anyone's thrown out a first pitch, I haven't, but I've talked to people, and the advice they get is throw high, and they practiced for months before they knew they were going to do it. He came out with the whole world watching in Yankee Stadium and threw a strike on the first pitch after 9/11. And I tell you what, my palms are sweaty even just thinking of the pressure that he was under. And I know that's going to sound ridiculous, and a lot of you are going, hey, it's just throwing a ball. I'm telling you, with the whole world watching and the stadium exploding, the dude threw a strike. And I just don't think many people could have possibly done. I don't think Nolan Ryan could have thrown a strike under that much pressure. And George Bush did. So, although I kind of think he's dopey. Yeah, he owned the Rangers, but still. You know, it doesn't take athleticism or guts or clutchness to own the Rangers. Yeah, no, I thought it was amazing. What foreign leaders like Putin or Xi would have crossed with Bush like they did under Biden and Obama? I don't know. I don't know what Putin and Xi did necessarily to Obama and Biden, or if they used them or not. I don't know that to be true, so I'm not really sure. But I am sure I'm going to throw a little charge into this, I think. Hold on, you guys hang right there. Wait a minute. I'm not going to have you hang right there. I'm going to have you watch my fireplace for a minute. Tell me if it's burning. Tell me If it's burning. There we go. All right, there we go. Bye-bye, fireplace. But anyway, nobody's counting my audience today. Nobody is counting my audience. We have a glorious audience on this Thursday afternoon. Do the logs ever burn? No, they don't actually. They somehow just stay on this. There must be some sort of loop. But I'll tell you, the other day I was watching a similar video, but they were burning pine cones. There was a little log in the bottom, and that some hand would reach in and drop a pine cone in periodically. And I will tell you what, those pine cones burned. If a trick-or-treater knocks on my door, what would I give them? I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I do not own one piece of candy. It's really my dream to be a full-time content creator. You know, I hope I think my show brings a lot of value. I think it's fun for me. I love doing it. You know, and I think it does help people. Hopefully it makes them feel not so alone. And because I know a lot of people go through some challenges and have a lot of ups and downs in life. And rather than hide from mine, I embrace my challenges and hoping it causes other people to feel better about what they're going through too. So Wholesome Grail, if you'd like me to help me live my dream as a full-time content creator, it'd be awesome if you know, if you donated up there, did one of those super Snapchats. I'd really appreciate it. When we went trick-or-treating here in the UK in the 80s, we got arrested for intimation. I would have a cup of coffee with the trick-or-treater. I kind of need some coffee right now. Oh, there you go. What are my thoughts on the market? I think I've never seen it go up as consistently as it has. My thoughts on annuities, though, are that they have amazingly high fees that you do not see. As a guy that used to sell financial products, if you put $100,000 into a fixed or a variable annuity, at least 20 years ago, your financial planner would get $7,000 in commission. That's my thoughts on annuities. But my thoughts on the market, it's gone nothing but up. And I don't know what the future holds as far as AI. I lived during various bubbles, the biotech bubble, the tech bubble around 2000. And I just have never seen the market for like 2 or 3 years straight go up as often as this one has. Like 9 days out of 10. It's green every day outside of the last 2. And I'll tell you what I'm not surprised at is Chipotle was down like 15 or 20% today. I've been so wrong on that. That came public like 20 years ago or something like that. And I thought, oh, it's a stupid burrito chain. It's gonna go out of business. I still think it's gonna go out of business because I do think it's just a stupid burrito chain. Overpriced, underflavored, and not that good. And I think it always has been. If I'm gonna get a burrito, I'm gonna go where there's a bunch of real Mexicans over a grill, fat guys, you know, with grease and chorizo, and throwing a lot of cheese on there, not some high school kid or college punk spreading a perfectly allocated amount of cheese on a steamed burrito roll. Yeah. No, I'm not going to give any shout out to you. You like the way Rich thinks. One grab of cheese. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We have a glorious audience today. We have a glorious audience. I probably need some more coffee. I'm going to go get some. You guys are going to watch my fireplace. It's funny. I talked about it. I thought my boss would reach out and tell me I didn't have to work today. I forgot. I picked up somebody else's shift. And she reached out to them to tell them they didn't need to go in. And the person whose shift I picked up called me and said, hey, our boss said you don't have to go in today. Verified it with the boss, and here I am, going live with you fine folk. Wait a minute. Everything I hear Democrats being up terrible leaders and how POTUS is akin to them, I reply, humor is like food. Not everyone gets it. Stalin. It's interesting. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to get it back to me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that $5, by the way. And quoting Stalin. I'm watching my second Soviet Union movie about some sniper, some woman sniper who became friends with Eleanor Roosevelt and had like 309 kills to her record. They kind of glorify the number of kills a sniper does, like American Sniper. You know, and again, he had a tragic story. Holy smokes, what a tragic story. But again, it'd be hard. That would be a job that is not for me to do, because taking somebody's life is not something I could do. Millie wants me to say something. No, I don't need to say anything, Millie. I probably need to find a job that needs me more. And I'm not saying me, and this might be just a slow period at my company, but I took 2 jobs very quickly because I found myself out of work about a month and a half ago. I had 2 jobs, one I loved, or not loved, one I was really good at, and one I wanted to get better at and had more financial upside. And they both scheduled me one day, and neither could I get out. I said, hey, both places, I'm scheduled at both places. Somebody please pick up my shift. They didn't. I was scheduled all day at the first place, so I went in because I'm dedicated. I went in the morning, was working, doing my best, asking people, hey, can you work this afternoon for me? No. So eventually I went to my boss and said, hey, boss, I gotta leave. And he goes, what for? And I go, gotta go to my other job. And he said, that's job abandonment. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm not saying he was wrong. And I go, well, I don't care what you call it. I gotta go. And he goes, that is what it is. It is job abandonment. I go. So I left and went to the other job. It felt like a hugely liberating moment for me. I was really good here, but I put in a lot of time and worked really hard, and it's nice to not be in this place anymore. Went to my other job, and like 5 days later, they said, you got 1 more day to prove yourself. And I go, what? I wish you would have told me this before I quit my other job for this job. I kid you not. So no matter how I proved myself, I was not going to be there long because I don't want my boss looking for a reason to get rid of me, and I honestly felt they were. So I scrambled. I got 2 new jobs real quickly, which I feel good about. But I took them maybe without asking the number of questions because I really needed to start working. And it doesn't seem like they need me quite as much as I'd like. Because again, they called me and somebody else off on Tuesday. I picked up somebody's shift for today and they called and said they wouldn't need us. And no, I'm not salary. I'm not salary. Yeah, no, about salary, I just sit back, relax, drink some coffee, and talk to you fine folk. But again, I'm not sitting here idly. Right before I went live, yeah, no kidding, Wholesome Grail. If I was salary, they'd come up and have me, I don't know, scrubbing the urinals. I'm not a coal miner. But either way, I did apply for a job right before I went live with you. And I'm proud of that. Again, I get my ass kicked a lot in life. Maybe I make some dumb decisions. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I kind of almost find it humorous with my new view on faith and spirituality and gratitude that when I get my ass kicked like that, where I'm suddenly find myself out of both jobs with 4 beautiful kids to support, a roof to keep over my head, I go, okay, well, I've been here before. I just got to keep on kicking ass. And I do my best. And not everything always works out smoothly, but I think I'm on the right path. Alpha, God loves you, and here's your prayers. You've done so much for others, and they haven't returned the favor. Stay strong and fearless. Oh, well, that's so sweet, Alpha. I appreciate it. I just don't know what else to do. Again, I don't want to get you guys really feeling sorry for me, because I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. Have other coworkers stood up in solidarity due to how you have been treated in these workplaces? How I've been treated? I don't think I was mistreated. I'm the one that abandoned my job. I was loved. I'll tell you what, ran into many people. And they'll go, oh, I wish you were still here. But I don't think I was mistreated. I don't think I was in the right job at the second job. If you go back to the videos that I'm posting now, I just posted a video saying I'm not good at my second job. Yesterday, I posted a video saying I'm not good at my second job. That's the job I went for, and that's the job that let me go. You know, I kid you not, I was saying as I'm doing it, I'm great at this job, but I'm not great at this job. And people were saying, oh, give it more time, you'll learn. I tried. They ran out of patience. Did I try to go back to the first job? Nah. No. I did not try to go back to my first job. I couldn't. That'd be like, and I'd say it was like having 2 women, dates with 2 women on the same day. And me telling the good, consistent, steady girl that, hey, I gotta leave this date because I'm going to date some hot chick over there who's not very nice. I think that's kind of what it was like. So there's no way, honestly, there's no way the first job should take me back. Plus, I'd feel like I'm there just counting the time because I'd feel uncomfortable. There's no way. Maybe I should date 2 dudes. I don't think I should date 2 dudes. I don't even want to date 1 dude. Do you feel it was a bad decision, or am I good with it? I did what I thought was best, Brian. I appreciate the question. I did what I thought was best. I knew the first job had less financial upside. I knew it was more physically demanding. even though I was loved at the first job and liked what I was doing better and felt more skilled at it, I thought I had a chance to better myself and relieve some strain on my body and make more money. So I feel I'm totally fine with my decision and why I made it. It didn't work out, but not all decisions are going to. In the bath, do I ever play with the bubbles or make a bubble beard? I mean, when you say, do I play with the bubbles? I don't know for sure. I mean, I probably made a bubble beard, but I can't recall making a bubble beard. When you say, do I play with the bubbles? I mean, like move my hands around and realize a bunch of them are at the end and try and bring them over my way? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Stank Nasty says, always bet on yourself. Stank, you were watching my show. Again, I posted a video yesterday and I was talking about how I wasn't good at the second job. And it's hard. I'm like 2 months behind in my editing. In about a week, I'm going to be editing videos to the day where they said they give me one more day to prove myself. Oh. Do I make my own bubbles? No. I will tell you what. I think one thing we could all agree on. Do you know what we can all agree on? That this has been a glorious audience today. I mean, one of the most glorious I've ever seen. We got 55 people watching, which is solid. We got 68 thumbs up, which is solid. And we got $13.98 in the kitty jar, which is also solid. And I'll tell you what. All right, well, I didn't work today. And YouTube's probably going to keep like 40% of that. So that's like $10 to me. But I still appreciate it. And 36, 50. I made like $50 from super chats in the last 3 days. Nuchu, you are welcome. We can all agree that pumpkin spice coffee is absolutely amazing. It really is. It really is. Stephanie Davison says, every day it gets better. I wonder how many subscribers we picked up today. All right. I have 2 jobs. They don't need me a heck of a lot. Some days I might make some, and some days I might make none. So that doesn't feel really good. But I have roughly 10,000 subscribers, we'll just say, here on YouTube. I make roughly $300 a month on YouTube or social media. At what point would I leave the workforce and become a full-time content creator? And what would that look like? I think there's value in going live every morning. I think there's clearly value in going live in the afternoon. And although I'm not totally sure what the audience is for my nighttime reading of the Bible, where I go live and read 2 chapters of the Bible, I think there's a lot of long-term value to that. And I think at some point, somebody's going to go, hey, I've always wanted to read the Bible. And there's probably a Bible on audiobook. But I think a lot of people like hearing me talk for whatever reason. Hey, Millie, how long has Millie Hansey had an account? Millie, can you just tell me how long you've had an account? Millie, how long have you been on YouTube? Let's see. Nick doesn't want me talking about the Bible. No, I don't take requests or even lack of requests. I read 2 chapters a day. Let me tell you, the last 4 chapters were tough. I need to replace 80% of my day job income. Well, I'm not close to that. I am not close to that. It would reduce my relatability and interesting topics if I quit working. Well, I don't know about that. You should have seen me. I couldn't find a job last year working, after about a year ago, I left my job as a waiter at a wine bar in Naperville. Because Millie, I think you created this account to stalk me. That's why it matters. What are you thinking of becoming, U.S. president? Stop feeling sorry for him. It's patronizing. He doesn't need it. He's fine. Thank you, Wholesome Grail. I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. I think I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Who can tell me who said that before me? I wish I could offer like little prizes for you guys that could answer my trivia questions the quickest. Lou Gehrig. Samson Uribe says Lou Gehrig. And I appreciate that. You're pregnant and you're living with your boyfriend and his parents. I'm not going to dive too deep because I think a lot of people hop on and make up stuff. But assuming you're not joking, and assuming you are 16, kicked out of your parents' house and living with a boyfriend and his parents, be grateful that you have a house to stay in. Be grateful to your boyfriend's parents. Realize you're probably not going to be with this boyfriend forever, and I don't even mean to rain on your parade, but be so excited, about the little blessing, little boy or little girl that you have coming into your life. And be grateful for it. And I know things are going to be tough and this isn't as you planned it. But I do think life happens for a reason. And do your best to be excited for the little one because it's going to change your life. And I think it's going to be awesome. Jim Rat is what would I do if somebody really close to me does not want to talk to you anymore for no reason whatsoever and you don't understand any of it? Stop following them, stop badgering them, give them space. There must be a reason they don't want to talk to you anymore. And be okay with who you are at home tonight by yourself without this other person in your life. Yeah, just deal with it. And don't pursue them because I've done that. I've done that. It's embarrassing. Oh, I miss you. I love you. Why won't you answer my call? Don't do that. It's a horrid look. Let's see. You told your niece, I want to become whatever, USA president. You smell cash. Sage, I had a bad month. I don't know. Let him go, yeah. Guarantee it's about, okay. If your child dated, whatever. I don't do any of that, but I'm trying to understand why. That never happened to me ever. Well, stop trying to figure out other people. And yeah, stop trying to figure out other people, because people are different. And I used to think the world saw the sky is blue and the grass is green, and we all saw things from the same lens, but we don't. And I've tried to figure out, like I have stalkers on this page and people that hate me and say mean things all the time. And I would call people and go, why are they saying all these mean things? Or I'd talk about an ex-wife and go, why would she do that? It's not ours to understand. It's ours to let go and not care and keep moving forward. Sonu, you're not making any sense. Stop saying something dumb and then saying I'm not replying to you. I keep reading it, but it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. Well, thank you all for liking and subscribing. In no way affiliated. I don't know what your story is, but you're kind of funny. Wholesome Grail is trying to be funny. Wholesome Grail, I have a little bit of suspicion about you. You showed up on my page 2 days ago, and you've been the most vocal person on my page. And I'm wondering where you came from. Millie, you're going to have to chill out a little bit. Or don't chill out. I don't care. You can keep saying you're more woman than many people would ever need, but that doesn't really have anything to do with what I said. What was the last day I didn't drink coffee? I don't know. Brian wants to replace Wholesome Grail. But you'd have to kick in the $2 a day. You'd have to kick in the $2 a day, because I got Wholesome Grail. He almost has to. He almost has to. What is my profession? I'm a full-time content creator. At least that's my dream. My dream really is to be a full-time content creator. Wholesome Grail wants, although I think Wholesome Grail might be a troll too. Because he knows I'm reading the Bible, and suddenly he came up with the Holy Grail reference. Dutchie Smith, I think life is funny and unsuspected because you never know what you're going to get. And one day you talk to people and the other day you don't even exist anymore. Dutchie, you might have been falling out of their radar before without even knowing it. If this person doesn't want to... Hey, Wholesome Grail, how long have you had an account? Somebody tell me, how long has Wholesome Grail been on YouTube? Tell me it's not 3 days. Wholesome Grail, come on, come clean. Tell me how long Wholesome Grail has been on YouTube. I want to start that too. I don't know. Hey, in no way affiliated. Has Wholesome Grail, have you been on YouTube 3 days? Somebody tell me. Okay, he says 5 years, but somebody besides Wholesome Grail, look at his account and tell me how long he's spent on. You're very rich, but you want more money. Sonu, I don't know what to say. Okay, well, you're very rich, yay, and you want more money? Go get it. Do you want me to scold you for your worshiping of money? Is that what you're looking for? Have I already solved the problem? I don't even know what the problem is. Let's see. Will somebody tell me how long Holy Grail has been on? I mean, Holy Grail I'm sort of fond of, even if they're a troll. Oh, only mods can do that from the chat. I don't have any mods on. I appreciate that. Holy Grail, I think you've been on for 3 days. I think he's been on, and I bet it's a she. But either way, I find them kind of endearing. Or I can do it. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Holy Grail, report, remove channel activity, put user. How do I do it? Hold on. Channel activity. Moderated activity last year. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. Anytime somebody new appears, you deserve disrespect, Holy Grail. You have a suspicious name, and you became very active on my page 3 days ago. Okay, Wholesome Grail's had a page for 6 years. You might be a girl. I still don't know. I prefer to think of you as a hot blonde. Thank you, Scott. Scott Baran doesn't get distracted. Look at Millie. Millie's throwing tantrums saying that she's more woman than any man can handle. I don't know what the relevance of that is, but Scott is focused like a laser and keeps cheering us to 100 likes. And I appreciate that, Scott. We have... I saw you leaving. Hi, I'm from India. Where are you from? Scott? Yeah, I'm not going to keep with the game. Okay, all right. Oh, feels good to breathe. We've talked for 93 minutes. So again, Holy Grail recommends I have 80% of my income on the stream. I do it at 50%. If I could cover, because I'm crazy optimistic, and I think if I dove full-time into this and really went for it, and once I got off here, focused on editing videos, or I'm crazy enough to put a lot of effort and a lot of time into anything I'm doing. And I think I could do it. I don't know. I know my content's good enough. I'm not saying it's the best. I'll tell you this, I think TikTok's a total waste. And I still post there because I got some people that watch me there. And I would feel bad if they don't watch my videos. But I saw a dude who had on TikTok posting a video today, and he was talking about the algorithms all messed up, and he's got to start a new channel and how many hours he's put into work on TikTok. And I looked, he had like 1.3 million subscribers on TikTok. And his average video, I looked a couple pages down, he had one with 20,000 views, but his average video maybe got seen 1,500 times. And if you have 1 million plus subscribers and you're only getting 1,000 or 1,500 views on a social media platform, something is broken with that social media platform. and I think something's broken on TikTok, and a little bit on Instagram, and a little bit on Facebook. I'm worried something will get broken here on YouTube, but right now it seems the most consistent social media platform, because it's not as like most social media platforms. I want to do something on YouTube, but I just can't come up with anything that works. Yeah. But anyway, Scott, are we going to get 100 likes? Have I ever thought about doing a 12-hour live stream? Schliebel Knievel, how are you? I almost reached out to you today, Schliebel Knievel. I don't know if I have your phone number. I know we're connected on Facebook. But you told me yesterday to screw that job, and I loved your attitude about it. But I almost reached out to you to tell you specifically what the job was and kind of tell you what happened about it, because I needed to vent. It wouldn't have done any good, vent. The best thing I can do when something bad happens is get up, get showered, get dressed, go to the gym, donate plasma, go live, go to work, keep kicking ass. Have a happy face, sir. Yeah. So anyway, it's Thursday afternoon. Hello, Mike, how are you? How are you today, Mike? We're trying to get to 100 likes, Mike, so since you just joined, if you could double tap that screen, I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it. You just finished working. I was planning to work today, but to be honest, I didn't expect it. They've been so slow at my work this week that I thought they would not need me. And then they did not need me. So here I am with what has been a glorious audience. A glorious audience. Somebody said, stop fibbing. About what? I don't even know what who you're talking to. Stop fibbing. That hurts though. Hello from Canada, Eric Gallant. How are you? How are you today? This is a glorious audience. If you don't see this as a glorious audience, you wouldn't know a glorious audience if it hit you in the face. This is one of the most glorious audiences I've ever had. We've got 87 thumbs up, we got 42 people watching, and we got $14 in the kitty. How you wouldn't describe this as a glorious audience, I do not know. Yeah. You can't wait for your carnivore dinner. I wonder what you're going to have. Oh, 2 steaks and 6 eggs. I mean, that does sound pretty tasty. That does sound pretty tasty. I think I could do that. I think for a while, though, after a while, you probably get tired of eating meat all the time. But I assume you mix it up with like chicken and fish. I mean, I love steak. I don't even care about white meat generally. But I assume after you eat enough steaks, the glory of eating a steak would start to fade a little bit, and you might get tired of it. Grass-fed, pasture-raised ribeyes. I must say, you make my mouth water. You aren't hungry, never tired because you aren't hungry enough to eat. What do you mean? You aren't hungry, aren't you? You're not hungry? We're going to see how good Holy Grail's sense of humor is. How do you feel now, Holy Grail? We're going to see how good their sense of humor is, because I just put them in timeout. I didn't block, and it's not wholesome, it's Holy Grail. Millie, I'm going to put you in timeout, okay? I'm going to put you in timeout. All right, I put two of my most frequent commenters in timeout. Millie, because she had it coming. Holy Grail, just to show him I could do it. Carnivore, you eat when you're hungry. Steak and eggs is always good if you're hungry. All right, I could see that. Oh, Wholesome Grail. No, that wasn't internet issues, Wholesome Grail. That was just me putting you in timeout, just for sheer sport. Just for sheer sport. I know, Scott, you were in timeout, Wholesome Grail. You're not currently. I wouldn't be able to read your comments. I put you in timeout for a minute. Jim Rat wants to know. I like that, because Jim Rat's engaging with Millie while she's in timeout. What's up? How you doing, good person? You did. Wholesome Grail, if you were here, I would have given you a bare-bottom pankin while you were taking a bubble bath with candles. Dutchie, are you a man or a woman? I would assume Dutchie is a man, but maybe you're a woman because you said you said somebody looks way better than Jeff Bezos. Good evening from Amsterdam. Are you on Buy Me a Coffee tipping service? I don't know what you mean, Mike. But if you want to throw some money in the tip jar, I'd appreciate it. My boss knows about the bubble baths. Well, I would hope so. I love my bubble baths. You think I have a really nice head. Well, thank you. I think I have a really nice head too. Wait, you agree with two people? I don't remember what they said. Don't make me go back. I might put you in timeout again. Yeah, no, I don't know. What about the nice face? Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. I should get on a buy me a coffee service. What does that mean? Buy me a coffee service. Google it. Buy me a coffee is way better than Google. Wait, Buy Me a Coffee is a search engine? It's another way for people to send me money. Oh. Hope is not a strategy. Oh, okay. It's a tipping service. I don't really understand what a tipping service means. But if anyone wants to send me money, you can right up there, or you can through Buy Me a Coffee after today. Oh, yeah, okay. Millie is back. It's OnlyFans. You're not going to see me do OnlyFans. Scott Baran, eyes on target. Eyes on target. Somebody says I definitely don't look like I need any money. I don't need any money. But my goal in life is to create a huge pile of cash. Has anyone seen the Batman movie with the Joker, where he has that Asian dude sitting on a huge pile of cash, and then he lights it on fire just to show he doesn't care? That's me. I want to be the Asian dude, except not have the cash be lit on fire. I want to see, I just want a huge pile of cash. I don't need it. I just, whatever. Millie, I put you in the corner. You were in timeout. How was it? No, I'm not Asian. This is true. I'm not Asian, and no, I'm not Bruce Willis. Buy me a coffee is what it's called. See, you've given me more homework. I'm going to go on. I'm going to go to Buy Me a Coffee. Again, I was called off work like 3 days in the last 9. Yeah, I noticed Millie spells her name wrong. Isn't that weird? Oh, this is your 1-year anniversary, Mike Anderson. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. I think that's awesome. Hello from Baltimore. Jim, I'd rather have my head shaved bald. As a matter of fact, I did it today. Somebody called me. Scott Baran says I don't need Buy Me a Coffee. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I don't want more homework. Hello, rich girl. How are you? And why are you talking to dudes, rich girl? What about me? Lots of YouTube creators are on Buy Me a Coffee. I guess it seems kind of friendly. It seems kind of friendly. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they didn't make me do it. But you saw what was happening. And what does this Temu Mr. Clean mean? Temu, the app where you can buy like cheap stuff from China? Is that what Temu means? Temu Mr. Clean, are you saying I'm a cheap, generic version of Mr. Clean? That hurts. That hurts. Let's see. Are sales down where at work? I think, I think they're slow right now. It's nothing that I'm doing. Don't overread into it, believe me. I know when I'm not wanted. I was not wanted in the last job. Today, I wasn't needed. As a matter of fact, I picked up a shift for somebody else. They weren't needed, so therefore the shift I picked up wasn't needed anymore. What's the best thing I've done in my life so far? I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think of my kids. Made 4 beautiful children. That's pretty cool. You know? What do I do? I'm a content creator. I create content full-time for a living. At least that's my dream. Arturo, thank you for all the respect. Was she blind? I don't know what you mean. Where's my coffee? It's right here. I don't really feel like anymore. What book is behind me? Oh, thank you for mentioning it. It's the Holy Bible. It's the Holy Bible. And I'm going to read it, 2 chapters of it tonight. Oh, and I was talking about that before I went to bed. I had somebody on yesterday's show say, could you please put all your readings in one spot so I can listen to the Bible straight through if I want to. And before going to bed, I figured out, what's it called, a playlist on YouTube. It's not hard, I figured it out. I knew it could be done. And so I did it. And before going to bed, because there's a real lame thumbnail was being used for most of my videos. And I said, I don't want a lame thumbnail for my video. I would like a cool thumbnail. And my ex-wife was very talented online. She'd go on various apps and design cool thumbnails. But now she's my ex-wife and she's with another guy. So she doesn't do that for me anymore. But alas, so I go, all right, I no longer have somebody here to create thumbnails for me. So I went to Google Gemini and said, create a thumbnail for a playlist featuring Bible readings. And they did in like 2 seconds, and I put it on my playlist. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you're here right now, you'll find the playlist. And from chapter 1 of Genesis to where I read last night was chapter 28, all of my videos are in a row. And you could hit play all and hear the first 78 chapters of the Bible read to you by me. And I don't know, sleep through it, feel spiritual. For whatever reason, you would do it. The Old Testament loses a lot of its beauty in translation. It's written in sort of, it was you, Schliebel. It was you. Yeah, I remember somebody asked. And I forgot it was you. Yeah, it's my playlist now. There's a Bible readings playlist. I don't know if anyone's used it, but if you want to hear me read the Bible, and you're going to be able to hear me read it straight through, it's going to take me about another year plus to finish the Bible. Again, it's 1,000 pages, and I'm only on like page 60. Yeah. Somebody's wishing me luck for my future goals. Well, thank you. I so appreciate that. Do I go to church? Almost every Sunday, Susan. I really enjoy going to church. Yeah, and I don't even know, again, if it's something to get out the door for, something to shower with, something to get together as a community, hear some music, hopefully hear a few words that inspire you. I don't know, drop a few bucks off in the church tip jar, if you will, and just feel like a great way to start your Sunday. What denomination? I think it's non-denominational. It is the Alliance Church in Appleton. Stephanie says I might meet someone nice. I might. Yes, yes. People could rub my head at church. But hey, Scott, are you still watching? You've been a little quiet. We haven't gotten many likes in the last 20 minutes, any thumbs up. And I'll tell you what, wholesome grail, we've got no deposits in the tip jar. Oh, well, Dutchie, you're nice. Well, you're still here. You need to get us cheering for the thumbs up. I talk until I get my 100 likes. You guys should know that. And I'm starting to have to go to the bathroom. That's maybe part of the reason I'm not drinking any more coffee. Not really. Not really. Wholesome Grill, I just can't stop it. I just can't stop it. You make me chuckle. You make me chuckle. And this is the only way I have to spank you when you've been bad, Holy Grail, is to put you in a brief timeout. So you can think about the hurt you've caused me. The mocking of the bubble bath, the candles, and all the other horrific things you've done to me. Come on, we got to get 8 more likes. Anybody out there that's new to my page, please subscribe to my show. Give me a thumbs up. I have a lot of fun doing this. I go live every morning over a cup of coffee. And the last 3 days I've talked live in the afternoon, honestly, because work hasn't needed me. So here I am. Susan, I can't promise you anything as far as what I'm going to discuss. I might talk about religion. I might talk about politics. I might talk about mental health or coffee or what have you. Do I want to meet up for coffee? Sure, I think. I mean, I'm working tomorrow, but not in the morning. Shoot me a message on Facebook, Shalibo. It'd be so fun. Yeah, Susan, I'm not going to not talk about something because somebody named Susan Fontaine doesn't want me to. I just hope you understand that. He's just fine without hair. I'm more than fine. I'm awesome without hair. I wouldn't take hair back if I could. So you might wonder what I'm doing this evening. Oh, yes. Like I said, I watched about half of my second Russian movie in a week, and it's about some sniper woman, good-looking woman, and she was a sniper during World War II, and apparently had 309 kills, and for some reason Eleanor Roosevelt became friends with her. Yeah. Top Man says I look like a corporate professional. Well, thank you. Bring back Wholesome. I can't. The minute's up. Maybe Wholesome's infuriated with me and won't be coming back. I'd miss him or her, but it'd be okay. I look like Lex Luthor from Batman. Scott, you got to do more. Oh. Dang it, he's back. What's funny is there's an option on YouTube to put you in timeout for 10 seconds. And clearly, that's just a show of power. Because you don't really want to mute somebody or time out somebody if you're only doing it for 10 seconds. You're just letting the people know that you can. Hey, Cathos Prime. Cathos, I did not work today. That is why I'm here. That is why I am here today. Because again, it's been slow at work, and they didn't need me. So here I am. Don't think I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs or going live. I applied to another job. I donated plasma. I did not work out today, Jim Rat. But I've had a great day given that work called me off yet again. Oh, Ramin, you're going to be put in timeout. You're going to be put in timeout for 30 minutes. I really mean it about you. You ask me the same question too often. Well, okay, you said you wish they stopped wasting my time. It's not their fault, really. I mean, it's not their fault. They are doing what they think is best. It's my fault for, and again, I like all the people, I like what I do. It's just right now it's slow. So what I should probably do is find a better opportunity and go, hey guys, I love you all, you're very kind and you got a nice business here. However, I just can't handle being called off work as often as I am. And yeah, I don't know how anyone can. I don't know how anyone can unless they're just taking their job as like extra spending money occasionally, or they're a kid or something. You know? Mary, it's not Halloween yet. But it's going to be Halloween tomorrow. I'm going to miss my little ones tomorrow. I've got two beautiful little ones, Augie and Eve. Augie and Eve. That's what they want you to do. What do they want me to do? I don't know what you're saying they want me to do. Well, thank you so much, Catholics. Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them or be pissed off. You know, they don't need me. They're saving me a drive into work. So they're not actually wasting my time. They're trying to save it. But honestly, you know, if they're trying to save my time so much that I'm not working as much as I need to, that's going to be a problem. Stephanie, my kids live unfortunately further away than I'd like, and I don't get to see them tomorrow. Did I get a new job? Well, I have two, and I've had them for the last... well, Wholesome Grail wants to know why they were timed out. Well, you only timed out for 10 seconds, Wholesome Grail. It was just for sheer sport. Hello from Texas. I forgot, I was answering a question. But I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, about work. Maybe it wasn't even about work. But either way, oh yeah, no, did I get a new job? I mean, I have two jobs that I've had for a month. Who is the nightmare? Who is the nightmare? Frank Francis. That's the first time I've ever heard that. See, Frank Francis is the funniest guy we got in the stream. He said he's being Coffee with Ken for Halloween. That's so awesome. Tell us about these two new jobs. No, I have. I've told you they haven't needed me. That's enough to say. If I told you what they were, people that don't like me would call and lie about what I'm saying about them. I'm not saying anything bad, but they just haven't needed me at work. You know, that's a problem for a guy that needs to be working. And Holy Grail hasn't picked out his wallet and opened it up and donated anything to the kitty jar. What is it called? Buy Me a Coffee? So you want me to go on Buy Me a Coffee. It does sound a lot nicer saying, if you appreciate what I'm doing, you can always buy me a coffee. Go to Buy Me a Coffee. And that does sound a lot nicer. So I will do that today. Although, again, I don't want to do this. What I hope to do, here's the problem. Holy Grail, you're the one that got me crowdfunding or whatever it's called. I don't want to have this channel be lucrative out of donations. I'd like it to be big enough and grow a big enough audience where YouTube pays me for watch time. And I will tell you what, it is harder than I thought it would be. Because again, in the last 2 days, I think I've had 18,000 views on my videos on YouTube. I only make like $7-8 a day getting 8,000 views. So what is that? 1/10 of a penny a view or something like that. You got to get a lot of views to make money professionally. But you tell me that, I just am more determined than ever. I go, well, okay. I got 18,000 and I make this, so I need 180,000 in 2 days, and I'll be making $90 a day. And at $90 a day, you can kind of formulate paying bills with. Captain Cake says it's a grind because everyone is trying to do it. I wonder if everyone is trying to do it, Captain Cake. Wholesome Grail says, no successful YouTuber makes their money through ad revenue. It's sponsors and super chats. I wonder if that's true, Wholesome Grail. You know how I want to do. You know what I want to do. For me, not sure that what you were saying is true. Someone removed their like? How can you remove a thumbs up? Next thing I know, Wholesome Grail's going to be removing his $2. But again, I'd like to just grow my audience and do that. I don't want to focus on hitting people up for money. I mean, I appreciate it when people do. I know when I go to church, I feel better when I throw in $5. And I'm not saying this is anything like that, but I think I don't think anyone's gone broke giving money to church. Scott Baran, you did a great job. Millie Hansey's feeling a little better. Millie just made her first comment in about an hour. It wasn't full of rage. So welcome back, Millie. I still think you're probably a troll that stalks me, that created the account 3 weeks ago to stalk me. But you're still fun, so we appreciate you. Hello, Jersey Dion. Chris wants pizza. So do I. As a matter of fact, should I throw a pizza in while we're here? Why don't I throw a pizza in? Why wouldn't I? I'm kind of hungry. You're going to be happy to know, my knee freezes up when it is in that bent position for a long time. I'm going to drop that down, open up my freezer, pull out a home run in pepperoni and sausage pizza, move my coffee maker aside, out with the old, in with the new. Through Super Chat, you can make money. It's sponsored by YouTube. Oh, I know I make a little money on Super Chat, but I don't want to have people sending me their hard-earned money to watch my show. Ideally, it would be from ad revenue. And maybe you guys would rather not watch ads either, but yeah. I'm doing this show, to be honest with you, to change the world and make the world a better place. I believe I have an ability to tell a story that resonates with an audience, that connects to an audience. Not everyone likes what I have to say. It sometimes angers people. I don't really care. Well, here's my pepperoni and sausage. And I will turn the oven to bake, and I will jack it up to 450 degrees, because that's where I'm supposed to have it to. And I'll hit start. Let me throw this out. You don't even know what I say. Well, Stephen, I don't dress up for my morning chat. Oh, I do dress differently than I did like 2 weeks ago. One of my videos, I did a really good video on the pot smoking. And I talked at length about pot smoking and how I don't think it's so benign like so many people think. And got a lot of engagement on that. But apparently, something slipped out my pajamas. And they deleted my video. Dutchy Smith says, oh, well, thank you, Roman. Yeah, no, I love my place. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in Appleton, Wisconsin. I moved up here in February because I needed a fresh start. I was struggling in a lot of ways, financially, mentally. And I'll tell you what, if your mind goes, you're in some trouble. I mean, my mind didn't go, but I was hurting and angry and bitter. And needed some things to change, and made a hard decision to move up here. How long did it take me to get 10,000 subs? Well, first of all, I don't officially have it. Secondly, I had about 4,500 in January subscribers on YouTube. And I went live the day that TikTok got banned here in the United States. I didn't think it was going to get banned. It got banned for just like 6 hours, but either way, I deleted the app. And I couldn't get the app back on, so instead of licking my wounds, as always, I kept moving forward, and I go, well, I'll go live on YouTube. And I was pretty surprised about the audience I got. And here I am, 9-10 months later, and I picked up another, 5,000 subscribers in 9 or 10 months. And I don't know, it's kind of fun. I have fun doing it. So here I am. Apparently you guys like it too. Even those that say they don't like it must dislike it so much that it still provides some value. Do you think who's we? Okay, somebody asked, do you think we should put an age on when someone should have life figured out by? Who's we in your, we should put an age? I mean, I guess the obvious answer is no. I don't think we ever have life figured out. I don't think we ever have life figured out. I think hopefully we're getting better every day, or having new thoughts, or, somebody said 50. Phoenix Lightning, how old are you? And I'm not trying to pick on you, but you said 50 is when we should have life figured out by. You're 50? Okay. Do you have life figured out? Again, I don't think any of us ever have life figured out. I mean, honestly, Travis Ashley said you have life figured out as a child, but then you forget it over time. I think that's more true. Also real. Yeah, Kathos Prime says she thinks life would be boring if we didn't always have a new lesson to learn and grow about it. Yeah, I'm getting new experiences every day. What do I do? What do I want to do? I'll tell you what's amazingly challenging is starting over in your mid-50s. I'd been a realtor 17 years, from 2005 to 2022 or 23. I'd been a realtor. My hobby was drinking alcohol and smoking pot. That was my life. And I kind of walked away from that and from a toxic relationship about 3 years ago. And it's hard going, all right, now what do? I used to spend all my days watching a game and drinking beer, or going to a buddy's house and drinking beer, or getting high with my wife, or whatever. You know, and all of a sudden you have all this time and you don't have the career that you relied on. And you're going, what the heck do I do now? And I guess this is what you're seeing. You know, I don't know if I have it figured out, but I'll tell you what, in the last few months, I found, I was asked at the gym, I was at the YMCA in Appleton, Wisconsin. And a guy came up to me, a bald dude, and said, hey, excuse me, by chance, are you Coffee with Ken? I go, yeah, I am. And he goes, oh, I've been following you for a few years. Told me a little bit of his story. He's divorced. He wasn't able to see his kids, so he connected with me. And I think he's somewhat successful in town, has a business, and he said he's well connected. And this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he goes, in a perfect world, what would you do? And I might have said, well, I enjoy content creation, but honestly, as far as a job goes, I don't know. And I didn't. But in the last 2 or 3 weeks, jobs have opened up for me. And granted, I got rejected by one yesterday, but that's okay. You're going to get rejected in life. But opportunities have opened up that at least moved the meter in my soul and said, hey, I think I'd be really good at that. I'd like to do that. I think it would make a difference, would provide some stability to my life, and I think I could really be awesome at that and enjoy that. And I'll tell you what, that's a great, great feeling, because for a few years I was going, well, I don't know. I'm good at talking, so I could be a waiter, or I work hard so I could, you know, work for FedEx, but they weren't things I really wanted to do. And over the last few weeks, again, I've thought of 3 things that I thought I'd be awesome at. You guys are worried about the pizza. Don't you worry your pretty little heads about the pizza. Don't you worry your pretty little heads about the pizza. So would we call this glorious, this audience? You that are watching, all 55 of you and 110 thumbs up, would you call this a glorious audience? Holy Grail, you say, act like you know more than anything. What do you need to major in to be a realtor? You don't need a major at all. You don't need a college degree. You don't need a college degree. So you don't need a major. And to be honest with you, you don't need to be able to sell houses. You just have to be able to convince people to use you. And maybe that's what a salesman is. Maybe that's what a salesman is. But I didn't like the feeling. I didn't want to meet you guys on the street and have my job be to tell you how great business was and how many closings I've had. I talked about it a few weeks ago. I went into a real estate office here in town, a Keller Williams office, just to see what the vibe was like, because I really enjoyed the feeling of the one I used to work for. And the vibe was good and the people were good. And I met a realtor and she started telling me about how she had 3 closings on Thursday. And realtors love telling you how busy they are, how much money they're making, how many homes they're selling. And I'll tell you what, a lot of it's BS. And I didn't want to BS for a living. I wanted to be me. I wanted to say my thoughts on topics that matter in this world. And I think as a realtor, you had to kind of stay mute on important topics because you didn't want to piss anybody off. Yeah. So anyway, I'm so excited. You know why I'm so excited? Do you know why I'm so excited? It's because I got a pizza in the oven. It's a sausage and pepperoni Home Run Inn pizza. And that is a great pizza. A great pizza. And this has been a great show. And I want to thank you all for joining, and all the thumbs up and all the conversation and all the thoughts and all the opinions and all the encouragement and the $14 that was donated to the cause. I appreciate that. I didn't go to work today because they did not need me. Ashley Graves is worried that I'm not going to show the pizza. You bet I'm crying in my sleep? I almost was the other day because I had leg cramps in both calves, and it hurt like a mother. You figured out my 14 marathon. Welcome aboard. Today's great. You guys think we need to see the pizza? They didn't need me today. Well, me showing you pizza. Well, you're welcome, Kathos. I read the comments. You don't need me. And I'm not going to give anybody any pizza. I can't give you pizza. I can wait till it comes out and show it to you, maybe. Oh, Top Man said, best of luck to me. Enjoy the pizza. Well, thank you so much, Top Man. Are you the one that was saying I look like a corporate executive? Sometimes I feel like a corporate executive. And again, I have friends that are extremely successful financially and bigwigs in various companies. I went to the University of Illinois. I think I'm smart. I think I've got a good personality, and I'm not intimidated by really very much at all. So I think a lot of people put me in that category. But I maybe have too much of a rebellious spirit to fit the corporate mold, and maybe desire, despite the struggles and the pains, to run my own business, even unsuccessfully or slightly successfully. Like on this show, again, I make like $300 a month doing it, and but I still love it because I think it matters. Millie Hansey said, when you lived in Illinois, Nick Perino was your neighbor, the family founder of Home Run Inn. Well, I did not know that, Millie. I appreciate that. Do I know who Dave is from Barstool? I've seen a guy, I think from Barstool, that has political opinions. I think he's conservative. Is that the guy? Is that who Dave is? Hold on. I'm going to turn you to this. I'm going to turn you to my fireplace. There you go. Here, you relax. I'm going to go check the pizza. I would be ashamed and angry at myself if I let it. Oh, wait, it's not going to burn. No. We still got another 5 minutes or so on the pizza. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? Whoa! Hang with me. Here, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, I read the Bible in about an hour. Somebody says start a business. Well, I think I have. I think I have started a business. Yeah, no, I think I have started a business. I think this is my business. I started it 6 years ago. It wasn't intentional. But when I talk, I think I'm good at engaging people. And I think it's a gift I have of storytelling. And I have had some beatdowns in my life. Made a lot of bad decisions, had a DUI, 2 divorces, a lot of highs and lows, financially, gambled, drank, smoked weed. Did all sorts of dumb things. And think it has taught me a lot. Well, thank you, Kathos. Wholesome Grail and I have a kind of a love-hate relationship. I don't know who he is, but he's joined my page as of 3 days ago. And he comments a lot. And she says a lot of wise things. And honestly, I'm still somewhat skeptical that they might be a troll. But I kind of resent the wisdom that he shares with me and the bit of humor that he shares with me. So to show my power, I like to throw him in timeout from time to time. Dave is the one bite pizza man that travels. Wait, let's see. Damn it, okay, sorry to ask you. You don't have to, I don't even know what you asked me about, starting a business? I'd love to start a business. I just don't know what I do other than this. I have no cost of goods sold. I have an audience that wants to watch every day and grows every day. And apparently have infinite content just from sitting here talking about anything, engaging an audience. We have a Syrian living in Ireland. How well are you received as a Syrian living in Ireland? I would imagine somebody from the Middle East. I don't know, I just picture Ireland a certain way. Huh. But anyway, I gotta show you my pizza. So we're gonna keep you talking for a little bit. Yeah, no, I wouldn't imagine. Irish, again, I'm picturing like Boston Irish people that are pissed off and fighting everybody and don't want anybody from another country coming into their homeland. Rebecca wants me to reach out to a brand I admire and do a show and tell. I don't know. Do you really want me to do a show and tell to a brand I admire? Like, I don't know, Starbucks? I do that every day. How much time do I have? You mean on the pizza? I didn't set the clock. I don't set the clock. You know what I've discovered? If you let the oven preheat, it cooks the pizza almost perfectly, the time it's in there. All right, let's take this off. Let's show you what we're dealing with. How about the pizza? Where's it from? Oh, you should know. Hold on, let me open up my oven. I'm gonna show you what we're dealing with in terms of the pizza. Wait, hold on here. There it is. It looks pretty dang good, but if you ask me, it needs probably about 3 or 4 or 5 more minutes. So I'm gonna shut that. Turn it back on me because why wouldn't I? Maybe walk around my apartment. That's way better than Torino's. What state am I in? I don't mind sharing it all. I'm in Wisconsin. Jack's Pizza is pretty good. No, Jack's Pizza is not very good. I mean, it's basic pizza. It's about as basic a pizza as you can have. And I'm not against basic pizza. But I'll tell you what, Home Run Inn pizza is really, really good. California is still hot. It doesn't look like Red Baron pizza. And why is England pissed off? Somebody said England is pissed off. Because they lost the Revolutionary War? They don't even have Australia or New Zealand. They're barely even holding on to Canada. Because what used to be the greatest empire in the world has ever known, outside of maybe Rome, the sun finally set on it. Because the fish and chips have gone up too much in price. There is no problem, Nuchu. And there is no problem. There's no problem at all. Why do you say there's a problem? I'm not sharing any goods with anybody. I'm going to eat all this bad boy pizza by myself. I probably won't eat it all, but I might. Ooh, fish and chips are awesome with malt vinegar. What an amazing audience we've had today. Just an amazing audience. I'm being a tyrant a little bit. Anybody, you can say bad things about the way I look or my head, but I'll tell you what, you say something bad about my pizza cooking, I'm really not going to be pleased with you. What color was my hair when I was younger? I was blonde. I was blonde. I'll tell you what. You guys might want to know. The one fairly quality, I mean, again, it's not real quality, but it's just a pizza cutter. How quality do you want a pizza cutter to be? But it's one of those OXOX or XOXO products. Spent a little more on this than I did on, let's say, the knives and silverware or this can opener that I have here, because I don't open a lot of cans, but I knew the value that I would get from this pizza cutter, the use I would get from this pizza cutter would be awesome. Guys like me usually have beautiful daughters. Well, I think I have beautiful daughters. As a matter of fact, I know I do. Close. I like it a little more cooked than some people might. Peace is priceless. It sure is, Chase Smith. It sure is. You're not wasting money on a pizza cutter. It's not a waste. It's a treat. In no way affiliated. It's a treat. Move out of your mama's basement and buy yourself a pizza cutter. In no way affiliated. I don't care that you've been at the same job 11 years. Actually, I do care. You've been at the same job 11 years and you still live at your mama's basement. You need to move out and buy yourself a pizza cutter. Favorite pizza? I'd say sausage and pepperoni. If I'm ordering it from a store, it would have black olive, or excuse me, from a restaurant, like it would have black olives on it too, because I think black olives are great on a pizza. I like olives a whole heck of a lot. I'm gonna call it a day. I am gonna call it a day. Oh yeah, that's a thing of beauty. That right there, folks, is a thing of beauty. Now, you probably should wait for it to cool. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Hold on, I better turn off this oven. That's what you're supposed to do. But I don't really feel like waiting till the pizza cools, so I'm just gonna cut it. And yes, you might wonder, have I ever worked in a pizza place before? And I'll tell you what the answer is. Heck yeah. When I was 16, I worked at a Pizza Hut. And that is when Pizza Hut was a pretty darn good pizza. And now I think the quality on it's gone down. And it's not nearly as good as it used to be. So anyway, I am going to sit back down, let those pieces of pizza cool, and say thank you so much for joining my audience today, or joining my show, being a part of my show, following along in my journey, liking, subscribing, giving me a thumbs up, donating to the cause. I had a lot of fun doing this show. Hope you had fun tuning in. Hope you subscribe to my channel. I go live every morning. I go live in the afternoon when work calls and doesn't need me. Yeah, I so appreciate you for being here with me this Thursday afternoon. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Great Thursday. You're excited about your night. You are feeling good. You are loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.